Hello, my name is Hannah McCullagh, and I'm an associate in the Commercial IP and Technology team at Travers Smith. In this short video, I will provide an overview on the key effects that Brexit has had on services and data. Services account for over 70% of the UK's economy, and the sectors that have been most affected by Brexit are those which are more heavily regulated, such as financial services, transport, and audiovisual. The key barriers that UK firms now face is that non-EU businesses are not authorised to carry out the same range of activities as other EU businesses. Unfortunately, the Trade and Cooperation Agreement between the EU and the UK, otherwise known as the TCA, doesn't preserve the level of access that UK firms in these more heavily regulated sectors were able to enjoy while we were still in the single market. Instead, the UK will only be able to benefit to the extent that the EU was already happy for non-EU businesses to carry out a certain type of services activity. That said, some services businesses have been relatively unaffected by Brexit. I'm thinking here in particular of less heavily regulated sectors such as tech. One reason for this is that countries and trading blocs like the EU have historically taken a relatively liberal approach to tech in their commitments under the World Trade Organization's services regime. As a general rule, a software firm based in the UK can continue to supply customers in the EU with software downloaded from servers based in the UK or elsewhere. But even those firms face new barriers if they need to send staff to the EU, particularly if the staff are going to be carrying out services like installing software or providing face-to-face training, as they may now require a work permit. And this is something we have also covered in more detail in the video linked on screen now. A question we're sometimes asked is whether it helps to have an EU subsidiary and provide services through that vehicle. The short answer is that an EU company will be an EU legal person and should therefore be treated in the same way as an EU provider. This is what many financial services firms have done instead of using a UK subsidiary to provide services into the EU, as they may have done in the past. But there are two important caveats here. First, you would only be able to do that in sectors where the member state in question permits what's called Mode 3 access. This is the right for non-EU service providers to establish themselves in the EU. However, the good news is that countries will often permit this type of access because it encourages inward investment by non-EU businesses. Second, it's not a step to be taken lightly. For example, you need to think very carefully about the tax position, and in most cases, you'll need a genuine presence on the ground. We're not just talking about a brass plate operation here, particularly in more heavily regulated sectors like financial services, where the subsidiary will need to obtain authorization from local regulators. And if you want to second staff from the UK who are UK citizens, there's likely to be additional red tape in terms of member state immigration rules, which again is something our employment team have covered in greater detail in the video linked on screen now. A lot of trade is also quite dependent on the exchange of data. The good news here is that the European Commission's decision recognising the adequacy of the UK's data protection framework makes it easier to exchange personal data with the EU. In particular, it avoids a situation where EU data controllers need to make use of mechanisms such as the standard contractual clauses to transfer personal data to the UK. But on this topic, there are two potential clouds on the horizon to look out for. First, it's possible that the European Commission's decision could be challenged in much the same way as challenges were brought against data transfers from the EU to the US following the Schrems II decision. Second, the UK is currently consulting on plans to reform its own data protection legislation. If this results in significant divergence from the EU's approach, it may prompt the Commission to review its adequacy decision in respect of the UK. So unfortunately, the outlook is not as stable or as certain as some may have hoped for, especially for businesses needing to make investment decisions with a multi-year timeframe. However, please do stay tuned as we will continue to provide updates both on our website and on our LinkedIn page. Thanks for watching.